My mom and I just watched the Ruby Frankie documentary and oh my God, I have so many thoughts. In the beginning, like she was kind of normal, like it's kind of crazy. And also when they introduced the husband in the beginning in the interviews, he seemed very like level-headed, not crazy, like you almost felt for him. As this whole thing went on, it just got like crazier and crazier. But the thing that really threw me through a loop, one, how were the neighbors and the police not able to catch them sooner? I do think that the neighbors probably thought it was weird, but they did not think there was an extent to which it actually was abuse. When they did speak up, it was so crazy how the police literally didn't have a case. I felt awful when that one neighbor said I should have just lied that there was proof of abuse and I did see it. That broke me. Next thing with Jodi Hildebrand, when she came to their house and she started getting possessed, I'm like, you're not possessed, babe. You're in psychosis. Like, it was just so crazy to see that. And like, clearly this was like a mental psychosis. And to think the women sleeping in the same bedroom would be the solution. At a certain point, my mom was saying like she kind of felt bad for him. And I was like, no, babe, because there is no way in hell, like, man up. I'm sorry, you're really brainwashed. So I looked up on ChatGPT who were the most vulnerable people to being brainwashed, and they both fall into that categories, interestingly enough. The husband explains that he has low self-esteem and grew up with low self-esteem. I know for Ruby Frankie, she definitely falls into the desire for a sense of purpose. For both of them, like the need for belonging or acceptance. And also there's the obvious lack of critical thinking, lack of knowledge just from being part of the Mormon church and being in Utah. You are not exposed to the way the rest of the world works. The part that literally broke me was when the old neighbor, the old man, was literally crying because he just couldn't take how upsetting it was to see this little boy with duct tape around him and so just emaciated. The craziest thing to me, this little boy, without knowing anything, he's clearly not very exposed to the world. He knew to go get help. And I was like, good for him. Like, you knew even more than your own father. Final thoughts. How bad on this scale do we think these people are? Is being brainwashed a literal mental disorder that would cause you to do something so terrible to your own children? And for the husband to abandon your own family? Like, is there anything left in you, knowing that you just left your kids, to come out to say, no, this is wrong, I have to stop it? Like, I don't feel bad. I think they both should honestly be in jail, in my opinion. But I'm even so curious what psychologists think. Like, is this a mental disorder? The whole thing is just so nuts. I feel so bad for these kids. I feel so bad for Sherry Frankie. Just let me know your thoughts. This whole thing was crazy.